Well, it's a cold, windy day here. It's not a lot you can do outside on days like today, so it's a good day to catch up on these little odds and ends. Come along and I will show you how we clean and condition and waterproof different leather goods. We're going to take these boots right here, some hunting boots from this last fall that are dirty and dry, and these pack boots here that could use a little bit of love. We're going to clean them up and turn them into boots like this and packs like this that are waxed, and the leather is a lot happier. So here's the different ingredients that we're using today. We've got two different kinds of applicators, or just a plain old rag and sheep's wool. Tried this because this is kind of an old school way to put it on, but for the shoes and the nooks and crannies, I like this because this sheep's wool leaves a few fibers and things that you've got to come back and clean up. Anyways, down the line, here's our snow seal that's waterproofing. Leather oil, this is actually olive oil or vegetable oil. It's good on raw leather for a first treatment. And we have our neat's foot oil, obviously. Use the Wyman leather conditioner. Next up, packs. Pack boots, hiking boots. So we're getting bigger as we go here. And I've got some everyday wears that I'm gonna work on, get cleaned up and conditioned. And then also a belt that I've had for about 8 years. It's made out of kudu hide from South Africa. It's really tough stuff, but it's getting a little dirty and could use a little love too. So that's what we're gonna do today. Stick around and we'll get it figured out. There's lots of different leather conditioning and waterproofing agents on the market. A lot of it is personal preference. You don't need all of this stuff. We'll start on a pair of hiking boots. We're going to wash them up with some warm soap and water and a stiff bristled brush and get all this stuff off of them before we get them waterproofed. Okay, the boots are dry. Boots like these ones need extra attention. You'll notice that this part is all one piece of leather, and then it has what's called a rand around the bottom, R-A-N-D. These boots I conditioned before hunting season, so they're still good. There's no cracking or dry spots around the stitching or in the folds. Another layer of snow seal on them and call these good. I talked to my cousin who's a professional saddle maker. He's been doing that for the last 20 years, and then he's been a professional saddle bronc rider. And his recommendation for the dirtiest leather was the warm soapy water. And we're gonna put a conditioner on them now that they're dry. So you can use either a sheep's wool, or I just cut up my wife's old dish rags and use those. I'm gonna use this Wyman leather conditioner. This is what my cousin likes to use for this lighter duty leather stuff. Make sure you get into that stitching good, down where the sole meets the upper part of the shoe or boot, right in there. Looking good, getting shined up nice. Leather's bouncing right back from the water. Here's the belt. Got it cleaned up, scrubbed it with water. You can see pretty dried out there on the back. This belt I've worn hard for several years now, so it's definitely ready for some love. I'm going to use neat's foot oil on this belt, and we're going to see if there's any noticeable difference or better or worse quality when I'm done with it. This belt's clean. We did that already. Now we're just going to work this neat's foot in and get some life back in it, hopefully. Once again, being careful to get all the stitching. So I'm going to work a little bit more in here and get the detail work. I just got done with this belt. You can actually feel that it's more malleable. Now it's clean and conditioned. It's malleable and ready for another probably solid year of wear. That absorbed nicely the way that it's been wearing. I've had this belt on my waist every day for the last 5 years, I would guess. The color's uniform again. The stitching is all back to the same color. See that in there? Definitely time well spent on this guy. For those of you wondering if this hair dryer is any good, I have no idea. I've never dried my hair with it. Dried a lot of boots though, or heated a lot of boots though. So I'm just going to heat them up and throw another layer of snow seal on them and call these good, and that will do it for this round of footwear for the year. Leather's nice and pliable now down around that ankle where we conditioned it. Get all this stitching. It's obviously where it leaks, most prone to leaking the fastest. Those holes punch through the leather. The stitching and the tongue. That snow just sits on the top of that boot while you're hiking and works its way in eventually. Voila. You can see the difference there. Just after one leather conditioning layer, those are coming around nice. Hey guys, thanks for watching this with me today. To recap, you don't need all of this stuff to do your footwear. The most important thing is that you just do it. Find something, take care of that leather, and it'll last you much longer than it would if you just wear it till it dries up, cracks, and you throw it away. Our applicators are just a soft rag or some sheep's wool. After today, I still prefer my cotton rag. The sheep's wool leaves a little bit of material behind. I started with my hiking boots, so I used my snow seal on that as well. Street shoes, I washed them with warm soapy water, then I neat footed them. Then I put this Wyman leather conditioner on them, which is also a bit of a cleaning agent. My belt, I also cleaned in warm soapy water and used a neat's foot oil and conditioned that as well. Didn't waterproof either of those. And then we finished up with stepping up a class in footwear. I cleaned, conditioned, and waterproofed these packs. And it took me a sum total, minus drying time, about 10 minutes. Used my wife's hair dryer to heat up those boots. I heated it before the waterproofing so it absorbed into the skin, so to speak, of the boot, being the leather, absorbs it right in, and it lasts longer. It does a better job of penetrating into the leather, so you'll get more use before you have to do it again. So I found that it's well worth the time to heat them up.